This is SME On Point. My name is Liabo Setho. Good afternoon. As the business world evolves, so is the way that entrepreneurs are responding to those changes. SME On Point is today broadcasting from the Business Exchange in Rosebank. This space is among the many shared working spaces that are proving popular among business owners. These spaces are structured to allow flexibility and help entrepreneurs to maintain professionalism at an affordable price. John Jack is the CEO at Galetti Properties, and David Seinker is the founder of the Business Exchange, and they are my guests today. Gentlemen, welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, could you just tell us about Galetti Properties and what your relation to the Business Exchange is?
So Galetti Corporate Real Estate generally searches for occupiers looking for space. We try and find solutions for them, be it traditional office space where you sign longer term leases, or alternatively where we're dealing with other occupiers, enterprises where you're looking for more flexible space, something that you can sign shorter terms on potentially, or perhaps increase or decrease the size of the space that you require, which is why we work with Dave to try and find those solutions.
So Dave, the entrepreneurs, they flock here, I can imagine. And what sort of services are you providing? What kind of space are we talking about here?
We're in the co-working industry. We have a more upmarket, sophisticated product compared to some of our competitors. But it's an ecosystem. It's an ecosystem predominantly with startups, but also some corporate clients. And the startups benefit from different offerings that we provide them, with different types of events and sales and marketing services. But obviously a key reason for them coming to shared workspaces is the collaboration that they can have with other companies, working from home, or the entrepreneurial landscape can be very lonely. So to be in a co-working environment, you get to meet other businesses and feel like you're part of the journey with the rest of the community.
What kind of other services do you provide here? When I come and set up here, do I, for instance, get free network, a free Wi-Fi? What kind of added benefits are there?
So it's an all-inclusive package. Yeah. The internet's included, telephones are included, boardroom facilities. We even have an auditorium that entrepreneurs can use if they're presenting to clients. And we have other facilities. We also are big into wellness, so we have gyms and showers in our spaces, so entrepreneurs can take advantage of that. And that's all for free and included in the rental.
John, is this how you see the property landscape moving? It's widening. 5 years ago, we didn't see these kind of spaces, sure, particularly in the African continent. Sure. Is this where you see the world moving to now in terms of when you look at the property outlook?
Typically, we see the cost of occupiers actually moving, or tenants actually moving from one office to another office being really high, sometimes up to 2 years rental that you've got to outlay up front. What happens when you come to a co-working space or a flexible workspace is that you get a beautiful fit out. You can see what's around us. You get a beautiful fit out included in your rental. So where you would have to outlay that up front, now you don't have to outlay that up front. In the environment that we're operating at the moment, generally people are not wanting to have big capital expenditures, and so that's driving people towards a more flexible solution Dave would offer, and so we do see a huge uptake in that. We've seen that as a trend in the market. Businesses like the Business Exchange have certainly been taking up more and more space. It's also helping the traditional landlords, because where they would have vacancies, they're now able to take up with flexible workspace solutions and sort of let up their vacancies.
Do you think that there's space for us to see this kind of setup in perhaps the townships? I know that we have a lot of innovation hubs that have been set up around the townships. Is this something that could work in those areas?
Yeah, very much a different offering. Typically here, you've got your fit outs costing up to 10,000 Rand a square meter. In let's say a more informal environment, you might have a different type of fit out, but you could very much have the same type of solution. I think the sort of entrepreneurial space in this type of business is huge. The space for entrepreneurs to take up space and make it look beautiful is very much a space people are moving into. You've got the likes of InnoSpace are doing this in an industrial sense, where they're taking larger factories, warehouses, and they're chopping up that storage space and then giving them beautiful shared office space on the front end. So it's an example of an entrepreneur who's seen an opportunity and taken that gap in the market, so very much so.
So Dave, in my research I learned that there's a lot of these really popping up. How are you setting yourself apart in the market? We've got your competitors not far from you. There's a lot of them popping up. What is this unique offering that you are giving to entrepreneurs here at the Business Exchange?
I expected this question. I think I read your mind.
Competitors?
Yeah, so we are a very serious brand and we're serious about business, and that's how we try and differentiate ourselves. If you walk around, you'll see it's a more upmarket, sophisticated fit out and furnishing, but that's not really our value proposition. Our value proposition to our tenants, of which are mostly startups, is that we're serious about business and we want to help them grow. And how we do that is through sales and marketing, funding and finance channels, and also leadership and learning events. So some examples in the sales and marketing space, we have a videographer that does videos for our tenants, interviews them, kind of like what we're doing now, they talk about their business. We then push that through to our social media following, of which we have 20,000 followers. We push that out to our newsletter that goes out every month to our database of 10,000 investors and corporates and entrepreneurs. So we help on the sales and marketing side. On the event side, we have leadership and learning types of events.
Okay.
We have one called Deep Dive, which we have a panel of experts that talk about really like deep thought-provoking business strategy solutions and topics. So we try and help our entrepreneurs. We get involved as much as we can, and we try and help them grow their companies. So we're very focused on the business side. We're very serious. I think another key differentiator at the Business Exchange is, you know, if you've got a lot of co-working spaces, they're very disruptive and noisy and free beer and, you know, these types of things. We're not that, you know. We're serious. It's not disruptive. We offer our tenants enough space to work. They don't feel like they're packed into little offices.
Silence.
Exactly. It's a more serious business environment, you know, for people to try and conduct business deals and meet each other.
I know that most of our entrepreneurs who are watching us today want to know the cost. How much is this going to set them back?
Sure.
Take us through that.
Typically at a centre or even in our industry, there's a norm of paying between 3,000 and 4,000 rand per person for a startup company, and that would be all inclusive and
Per month.
per month. And another key point is the flexibility. So you
So when you say 3,000 to 4,000 rands per month, is this for a table?
This is for a desk.
Office, or
it's for a desk. So if
desk?
there's 3 people in a business, it might be between 9,000 and 12,000 rand per month.
Okay.
But that's all inclusive, and the key thing is it's flexible. So you can sign at the Business Exchange, you can sign for 3 months or more, and then
Can you
it
do
goes on
month to month?
You can do month to month,
Okay.
after that. So it's very flexible in that regard, and all the services are included. So you get the professionalism. You know, you can come into a space and you've got a receptionist answering all your calls.
Yeah.
You have the boardroom facilities, video conferencing, an auditorium, and you've got the staffing aspect too. You know, it's clean, it's maintained. There's a center manager at the building. So that's all included in the price. You know, if you go and rent your own office, you know, that's going to cost you another 50,000 rand a month potentially. So that's all inclusive.
Typically, a receptionist costs you double that at least. You know, if you're one person.
Let me put you both on the spot and ask you to give me 3 tips each for why entrepreneurs should consider a co-sharing working space.
I think number one is the saving themselves the capital outlay up front. That is, I can't overstate the significance of that. You know, really, you're going to outlay at least 1 to 2 years rental up front, just on your fit out, your tables and chairs, what you see around you, your glazing and your floors, and making it look like this. It's very expensive.
Right.
That's the first thing. The second thing is the flexibility. Generally, when you're an entrepreneur starting a business, you're not 100% sure how fast you're going to grow. Do you need to cut down staff? Do you need to increase staff? Here you have the flexibility to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And the last thing, of course, is you can choose your term. You know, let's say your business idea doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can then surrender your lease. You try another business idea, you can come back in again. And for me, those are the major aspects of entering an environment like this.
Fantastic. Dave?
Sure. So from our side, definitely collaboration. You know, you can meet other people and network and do deals there. The community aspect's important too. And then finally, at the Business Exchange, it's your access to the additional services. You know, as I mentioned, the sales and marketing, the funding and the finance, and the leadership and learning. I failed to mention on the funding side, we also have an evenings where entrepreneurs can pitch for funding to investors that we bring in. And so that's another value add, yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time on SME On Point. You've really added value to our topic for this week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. In our featured business of the week, we see how unemployment can lead to unique business concepts. This is the experience of Thando Nekelo, who makes custom-made rugs and carpets. This businesswoman is now spreading her wings and training other women in the rural areas across the country. Our reporter based in Mbombela, Mpumalanga, Tumelo Machoho, and camera operator Lungile Ngongwane visited Nekelo, and this is her story.
Thando Nekelo is a businesswoman on the move. The 36-year-old mother of 3 began her business 2 years ago, making unique and exquisite handmade carpets and rugs from her house.
I was not employed and I had kids. I've got kids to provide to. I'm a single mother. And when I saw this opportunity, what came into my mind, it was that, first of all, the business, it's not saturated. It's not something that is all over. Because first of all, I did not know that as like any other human being with hands and brain can do their own carpets. I thought you need machinery to do that.
The hand-knotted method is taxing, but the results are worth it, despite the use of cheap materials. Still, the quality and aesthetic of each rug is maintained. Bathroom mats to lounge rugs are meticulously produced.
You would spend about 150 and then you would sell it for 150.
Just a year into the business, demand heightened. More people wanted to be trained, and Nekelo couldn't resist.
So now I saw that, no, let me pass this skill to other people since it has changed my life. Then I said, no, let me move from selling from neighborhood towns and Facebook. Let me now go to people and instill this skill to them.
Nekelo has trained over 200 people. Training cost 1,600 per person, and all the materials are provided for. The trainees feel empowered with this acquired skill.
I want to learn more, and because I'm not working, so I need to support my kids.
I want to add on my income actually because I'm working. I'm currently working, but the thing is sometimes the income is very small.
Nekelo has embraced the use of social media in her business. This helps to sell their products and hopes to export to other countries in the near future.
Seeing that we are growing as a team that is giving the skills, so we have more people who are attending. So we have expanded to building. We want to make an online shop for them. We are busy building that. It should be online on the 1st of November. We want to see towns, in fact, opening factories for people to come and work and supplying in big quantities, even supplying outside, because we train even people from Namibia, we train Botswana, we train Zimbabwe as well.
Are you making profit? Is this business profitable?
It is very profitable, and we thank God it's not only for me. For me, it has done wonders. I don't see myself, I train every day. You go home making about 7,000 a day, 4,000, 5,000 in a day, and nobody would give you that. I mean, to me, I'm very grateful.
Nekelo and her clients are supplying number of businesses in Free State, including a big mining company there. Tumelo Machoho, SABC News, Mbombela.
So thank you to my colleagues Tumelo Machoha and Lungile Ngongwane for putting this lovely insert together. Our entrepreneur quote for the week was sent by Red Strip Media, and it reads, "Hard work and consistency combined with a sense of determination will take you everywhere you want to go." This is by Tolu Oshokoya. On Instagram, he's known as Red Strip Media. Remember, you can get in touch with me via email on setole@sabc.co.za, and on Twitter and Facebook, my handles are @Liabo Setho. That's it from SME On Point for this week. After the break, Nastasia Arensia is with you with Books on Point.